Hello and welcome to a Christmassy episode of Mountain Bike Gear. And this warning has come up twice about my webcam not working to make a video. And last time I actually listened to it, and guess what? I was recording with audio. So don't you tell me that again. So yeah, from the Christmas lights, this side is noticeably brighter because they are new. That's why they half blind me half of the time. And those ones over there, well, we've had them for a few years, so it's it's understandable that they're a little dim. So yes, little update on what's happening. I have seen one of the most awesome bikes, for a long. Well, not no. I'm gonna rephrase that. I now want another bike. It's not a free ride or a downhill one. It's a dirt jump bike because I thought, for once I'm going to try something that I don't know very well. So because I'm quite good at downhill now. Getting air. I mean, I can get reasonable amounts of air. It sort of suggests I've been doing it for long enough that I want to sort of branch out and do other things that might help me with downhill. So yes, the bike I've been looking at is an NS, North Shore NS. I presume that means North Shore. NS Metropolis 2 of chain reaction cycles for £500, and I've actually nearly paid off my debt to my parents for my Scott Voltage. Lots of Christmas money, so yay. So that's good. And oh yeah, someone else is funny. Completely non sequitur, but I was walking past my house with a group of friends, and they were like, "Rob, are you having some sort of Buddhist rave at your house?" And I was like, "Wow, I've never heard it put that way before." I'm stop fiddling with that. Because there was lights flashing, and my parents, being Buddhist teachers, of course, they decided to put Christmas lights up like a few weeks earlier than usual, because they like the lights. And a few people ask, "Well, why do you celebrate Christmas if you're Buddhist?" Like, because you get lots of money. That's why. Think what it'd be like without the money or the gifts. That'd be terrible. So yeah, Buddhist rave with lots. Oh yeah, and they decided to have an apprentice retreat, which means lots of Buddhists come to my house, they learn Buddhism, and they go home. So Lucy and Lewis thought that there was a Buddhist rave going on in the front room, which there wasn't, even though it looked like it was. That's not my point. Actually, check the minutes. This is how far we're into the review, and I haven't even got down to what we're talking about yet. That is how awesome I am. So yes, freeze. Ow, my thumb started bleeding. It's probably because I'm. Never mind. So yes, on to the topic of this review. I will scoot back a bit. Back a bit. So I can't say it. So yes, the topic of this review is another jersey. This time it is by Royal, and if you saw my last video, man, now my thumb's really bleeding. I'll just say what this jersey is. It is a downhill and freeride Turbulence jersey, and it's the blue version, obviously. There we go. It's blue and grey. Now let me just start off by saying Royal things. It's incredibly good quality for what it is, and how much I paid for it, which was not much. It was only £22, I think. Yeah, I think it was only £22, and what you get is a very lightweight, breathable. Because these grey patches are actually thinner than the blue ones, so you can get a lot of air through those, and it keeps you cool, which is important. And I also really like the Royal logo. No, another one. I love the Royal logo, as well as the typeface they used for the name Royal. Now, I've worn this once, and it has been brilliant. It ended up being covered in mud because at the Forest of Dean it was absolutely soaking wet, which was a pain. Mainly because the jumps, well, the Big Al jumps, they were all greasy and literally soaking, so no matter how fast you went into them, by the third jump, you couldn't actually get air off it. You could only case it. Well, that's like getting air. I mean, you can only roll it, or if you're a pro, you could only case it. There's literally no way that you could ever clear the jump when it was as sludgy as it was. So yes, nice jersey. I'll just put it like that. It doesn't really. No matter how many times how I arrange it, it's not going to look like I'm wearing it. Having a little flail around there. So yes, yeah, that's how it folds. So it's a very nice jersey. I'm just going to show you the front and back. Front with the royal thingy do well. Back. It's a very plain jersey, which is what I wanted to talk about as well, which concerns a lot of people who have just started downhill, people who have been into downhill for a bit, and they're actually getting good air, and people who are pro downhill, and what to wear. Now, I've noticed, well, I think it's important that when you start off in downhill, you don't go and buy the most brilliantly amazing jersey, and you don't, and then you buy the amazing jersey, but then you riding around on, a cheap bike and not getting air, and generally riding like a cross-country biker, which telling a downhill biker you ride like a cross-country biker is sort of an insult. No offense to cross-country, it's just a little bit different. So, I use the rule that, your jersey and things that you wear should be as flamboyant as your riding style. So that in fancy words, when simple words, that's just a way of saying, if you're not so great, wear a sort of a plain jersey like this one, this plain blue and grey one, and if you're, getting good air, and, you look quite good on a bike, and, people know that you know what you're doing, you know what you're doing, you can wear a little bit more flamboyant jersey that you like and look awesome. And this is a major step for me because I've started getting, bigger air than I was getting before, from my last video where I nearly cleared the road gap. I mean, it's not much more I have to do before I can clear that road gap, to be honest. I mean, I was like, once you've cased it, you feel the impact and you get, the air, so you feel more comfortable with going, faster. So that's why I bought my other jersey, which is back there, which I will review next. After this one, though. Because, and I brought this whole thing up because I saw a mountain biking review that was, it was titled MTB Gear. You can, YouTube it, and it's a video of basically, I don't know how old he was. 12 or 11, I think. He was saying, when I'm up at the hill, I wear my Thor, race World Cup jersey. I was like, whoa, you're riding a Walmart bike with that jersey. You can see what I'm saying here. Because I've got a Scott Voltage, I can wear fairly flamboyant clothing because, it suits the bike and my riding style. Which, at the moment, is, quite why I love the jumps, so... and I love clearing them, because there's something about just getting air that's blissful, you know what I mean? All of you people who have, flown at least, 5 foot in the air will know what I'm talking about. Or even less, really. It's, air time more than actual height or anything like that. It's just the time that you're not in contact with anything apart from it's just you and the bike. I know that sounds like, corny or whatever, but it's true. Well, I've been talking for way too long, and it'll probably take most of tomorrow to upload the video, which will be a pain. I will stop talking now, and one last look at the jersey. It looks very plain for beginner downhill riders to wear, so that people don't expect much of them. I mean, I don't think this... Has this been explained in a video before? I don't know. I mean, surely everybody sort of unconsciously knows it. But anyway, I'll stop the video there because you're probably bored. Well, you won't be bored, you've already quit out. So, well, unless... Well, I'll stop talking anyway. Okay, thank you for watching another episode of... Well, thank you for watching the review of the Royal Jersey... Well, sort of update jersey lookover of the Royal SB Downhill Freeride jersey. Okay, bye.